Gotta go. But thanks. On with the show.
Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to talk about Jenna Ortega and how she kind of I guess reflected on like that controversial thing that she did on the set of Wednesday where she pushed her way to changing some scripts in the Wednesday show that debatably helped the show to even potentially get even better. Let's give this a watch, shall we? Read, shall we? In a new interview with Vanity Fair, Jenna Ortega reflected on the controversial comments she made in March 2023 about changing her character's lines on Netflix Wednesday, admitting, quote unquote, I probably could have used my words better to describing all of that. I think oftentimes I'm such a rambler. I think it was hard because I felt like I had to represent, I feel like had I represented the situation better, it probably would have been received better. On the March 2023 episode of Dax Shepard and Monica Padman's Archer Expert podcast, Ortega said that many of the original Wednesday scripts made no sense to her from the character's perspective, and that she changed dialogue without consulting the show's writer. She said at the time, quote unquote, I don't think I ever had to put my foot down more on a set in a way that I had to on Wednesday. Everything that Wednesday does, everything I had to play, did not make sense for her character at all. Her being in love in a love triangle, it made no sense. There was a line about a dress that she has to wear for a school dance, and she says, "Oh my God, I love it. Ugh, I can't believe I said that. I literally hate myself. I had to go. I had to go." No, there were times on the set where I even became almost unprofessional in a sense where I just started changing lines. The script supervisors thought I was going with something, and then I had to sit down with the writers and they'd be like, "Wait, what happened to the scene?" And I had to go and explain why I couldn't do certain things. Which I even remember that happening when that came out, and I even mentioned too, said that sure she could have potentially done a few things better professionally, but Wednesday became like a really good hit. Like if it's like it makes me wonder just how many things that Jenna Ortega changed that helped the show get set on the right path. And what were the lines like all the lines besides that one line about the dress that probably would have left us fans cringing if it stayed in there. So the question on the air is for even people who are still critical of Jenna Ortega's decision to do that, do you think like sure, do you think Jenna Ortega could have like worded herself better to describe it like she admitted? Do you think she was in the right to do that? Or So let those lines stay in, so that way, like, fans could like back her up even more, per se, if that makes sense. Saying, why is this line in there? That didn't make any sense. Or that line, or this line, or this line. Because she could have easily had those conversations before, but the way it's just, you don't know what you're talking about. And then the fan base will say, the fuck is this? Do you guys think that would have happened? I mean, I think if she was right and the fan base did, if she didn't change the lines, and the fan base complained about the same type of stuff that she did, then she would have still potentially became an executive producer for the second season. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Anywho, anywho, Ortega's comments drew backlash from film and TV writers who went on strike against the studios 2 months later. Many Hollywood scribes took to social media to call Ortega being toxic and beyond entitled. And the picket line, some Writers Guild of America members carried signs with slogans such as, without writers, Jenna Ortega would have nothing to punch up. Um, everything, quote unquote, everything that I said felt so magnified. It felt almost dystopian to me. I felt like a caricature of myself. Also, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, believe what, like, here and tell you what to believe or say or think, but I will ask you this question. For those people who comes out and said Jenna Ortega was being too toxic and being entitled about how she did things, wouldn't couldn't you say, or isn't there an argument of the people who did this slogan that without writers, Jenna Ortega will have nothing to punch up? Couldn't that be considered as toxic and beyond entitled as well? I know I'm a huge fan of Jenna Ortega, and this is not me being a simp by any means. This is just me trying to present another side. Like, how can this is a clear? How can one side um, claim to claim something? In this case, being toxic and being and beyond entitled, when they're going saying without writers, Jenna Ortega has nothing to punch up. Granted that, yeah, you can. There's an argument in that statement that I just said from that quoted, where you can make where those picket people were being toxic, and yes, there's a good argument for that. Beyond entitled, okay, maybe not so much, but toxic for sure. Toxic for sure. So my point is, if I bring that up, before you call out someone for something like being toxic or beyond entitled, make sure what you're going to say and where you're coming from doesn't come from a similar place as that person, because it can come off as hypocritical, is my point. Anyways, she told the magazine that the media's snuff taught her to a valuable lesson. Quote unquote, you're never going to please everybody. And as someone who naturally was a people pleaser, that was a really hard for me to understand. So people just may not like you, and that's entirely fine. Ortega said that even she got sick of myself last year, adding, my face was everywhere. So it's like, fair enough. If I were opening my phone and I saw the same girl with some stupid quote or something, I would be over it too. Vanity Fair writer Michelle Ruse suggested to Ortega that even after #MeToo empowered women to advocate for themselves in Hollywood, many people continue to respond to such instances with contempt. Ortega agreed, quote unquote, I feel like we definitely need to practice what we preach a little bit more. Women have to be princesses. They have to be elegant and classy and so kind, and then when they're outspoken, they can't be tamed and they're a mess. Now Ortega serves as producer of the upcoming second season Wednesday, where she is encouraged to give notes. Executive producer and director Tim Burton told Vanity Fair that Ortega is, quote unquote, very direct. She is very known nonsense, and I find that very refreshing and beautiful and artistic. He even suggested that Ortega could direct the series if she wanted to, adding, quote unquote, I saw from day one she's very aware. She's more aware sometimes than I am. Season 2 of Wednesday is expected to arrive on Netflix sometime in 2025. And again, this is also part of the reason why I respect Jenna Ortega so much. I mean, part of it is because like a lot of the things that she has said, I agree with, but also she's one of those people in Hollywood that isn't afraid to do some self-reflecting, saying, "Oops, I messed up." Who isn't afraid of being humble and um just what's the word? Humbled. She isn't afraid of being humbled, and I respect that a lot. And it's refreshing to see people like that. Which is why I, like I said, highly respect her, and I would so love meeting her someday in person, just so I can shake her hand and me being a huge fan of her, just being able to have the bragging rights that I met Jenna Ortega. Just like I have bragging rights where I can say bragging rights of saying I met Hayden Panettiere and I've met um, Kevin Eastman. I have those bragging rights, and I would love to have that bragging right too. That's the fan of me is coming out now. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love y'all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind of one other. I will talk to you, fellow mutants, later.